Hey, Jova, Shiroi, your big love scene is up in a moment. Come on, let's shoot it.
No. This. Well,
I'm not paid enough for this.
Shiroi, allow me to remind you that you're under contract, so you have to perform it.
0-hour contracts are bullshit.
Do this and maybe Joe Kigley will present you at the Game Awards with a very, very resonant speech or something.
Yes, Shiroi, because yes, sure. Just think of it. You get to speak at the Game Awards about how shit the game you're in is.
No, I'd take the opportunity to talk about The Last of Us Part 2 and how the shit was rigged.
Bazing!
Except for those awards about the games.
Yeah, Laura Bailey can keep her award. Okay, she can have.
All right. All right. Now that the missiles have been fired, everybody, let's actually properly start this.
Okay.
All right, here's the mini game. Now you actually have to
nearly out of time.
We had to actually catch Rinoa in under 90 seconds, and she can actually potentially pass through you, and then it counts as a game over.
Yes.
I have to get in front of her.
Don't worry if you lose, the game just restarts the thing again. So.
And this is the textbook. You know all the people that say that they don't like Final Fantasy VII because it has too much mini games. This is the thing that we're talking about instead. Mini games is really pointless. It controls like ass, and you don't really need it.
Not just that. Allow me. This would have been a lot better as a cutscene. You know, just actually properly show Squall's despair to try to reach Rinoa, because I appreciate trying to make it interactive, but this is one of those cases where it really should have been a cutscene. Making this a mini game doesn't really help. If anything, like Teo said, because of the awkward controls, it actually hinders it.
I could go make a cup of tea in the amount of time.
And keep in mind, Libs, every time it's not like it fades and restarts back. The music stays the same. So imagine fading like 5 or 6 times in a row and you keep hearing this guitar over and over. You know, it gets annoying real fast.
Anyway, Teo, to answer your thing about the minigame thing, to be fair, that complaint would still apply, seeing as how this game has way less minigames than 7 did. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they're better, it's just that it's not as well.
Sure.
He caught her, guys! He caught her!
Space hug. Does this count as the High Mile Club?
Come on, Rinoa, let's do it. Come on, Rinoa, let's do it right here, right now.
Pedro,
Space doesn't really fit for that kind of thing.
You know. Considering the position they're in, Pedro, it kind of looks like one of them.
There's been given the souk and vendors, exaggerating.
Shiroi, if you please.
I heard your voice.
It wouldn't shut up.
Go ahead.
Are we gonna make it?
Well,
no.
Probably not.
You're in the middle space with no way to back up because the space station got fucked. It will really
but it's okay.
Deus Machina to actually save
Yes, because like Teo just implied, Tatsu's gonna pull something out of his ass to get us out of this.
Again, not even joking, a literal Deus Ex Machina. And the literal sense of the theme.
Go ahead.
Out of fuel.
No, that's Squall actually. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Out of fuel. Low on oxygen.
But I finally found what's her name, so it's all right.
What now? Die in space?
I just wonder if Nojima just realized, oh shit, I wrote myself in a cul-de-sac. What do I do? I'll pull something out of my ass.
To be honest, guys, these look like the space versions of the Rock'em Sock'em robots making up.
Hey Teo, considering what's coming up, would you say he pulled a rock out of his mask?
Here you go.
Time to see for the FMV.
So guess what? Turns out, there's a space airship called Ragnarok that happens to be floating around in here and gassed up, ready to go, and we can just go to it and save ourselves. How fucking convenient!
Because space isn't like huge,
Like,
right?
keep in mind, the game will...
Maybe
the
space
game
works
will-
differently in this universe.
The game will attempt to justify its existence, like saying, "Oh no, it was part of a space station. It was used for, riding along a Deus tomb." But again, the way it's presented right now, it comes the fuck out of nowhere. It's there just to save the situation. And you know what's funny? A lot of parts ago, I did mention the whole thing about Laguna's name and all. This is the moment where I have to put up a point towards the English localization, because in the original script, later on there will be a scene where a character says, "Oh, it bears also the same name as Laguna," but that thing doesn't make sense in the English version because it's called Ragnarok, of course, while Laguna is called Laguna. In the Italian localization, they decided to call the spaceship Laguna Rock, and it's fucking stupid.
Oh, wow.
No, so yeah, like Teo said, yes, they are going to explain how this airship is here, but it still doesn't make sense in the end because how the hell is this spaceship not veered away from the Earth by this point?
Is this is this track supposed to be a space theme or a lullaby? Because I'm falling asleep.
Both.
Both, yeah.
It is a typical thing, actually, to put in lullabies for space themes. Okay.
But space themes are normally very fun to listen to.
Well, depends on what kind of space theme you're talking about. Like the Star Trek usually has a bit more somber space themes.
When Star Trek does it, it's got a lot more nuance.
And again, all tensions have been drained because, again, despite both of them being kind of oxygen depraved and everything, now they're perfectly fine.
Yes, this thing has full oxygen. It's gassed up, ready to go.
Gravity functions, and keep in mind, in a second, these two are gonna have to fight because there are actual occupants in this spaceship.
There's monsters in this spaceship, for the record. Yeah.
So Squall and Rinoa are perfectly capable of fighting despite whatever tension they just passed a second ago. No.
Okay, believe it or not, this game takes inspiration from Final Fantasy Mystic Quest of all things.
Well, I forgot. Did Mystic Quest at a space station level?
Oh wait, never mind. That's Super Highlight I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Super Highlight, actually.
But no, that's exactly the thing. Like Teo said, this is probably what happened. The writers really wanted a super desperate, romantic attempt to save Rinoa, where Squall is risking his life to save Rinoa. They really wanted it. But then when they got after that, they shit.
Now what?
How do we get him back to Earth?
There's a convenient spaceship that was just passing by the Lunar Cry. There you go.
It's the writing in this game is so amateurish. Like seriously, this feels like it was written by an internet fanfic writer.
No, not just that. This is again. It's clearly keep pointing to the fact that this people.
Hold on.
Alpha.
Renault wants a hug. Go ahead, Shiri.
Give me a hug.
No.
No
way.
What if he doesn't want to?
Well, considering how
remember,
he really risked life,
like Shiri said,
an introvert, so asking for a hug is like poison for him.
like Shiri said, Dwebs, the plot is gonna make him give a shit now. So,
oh boy.
go ahead.
A real tight one.
No.
Doesn't that kind of
Okay.
Aren't you short on oxygen?
Okay, to be fair, what she means is that she's really so happy to be alive, and
again,
go ahead.
Uh,
I need to know that I'm alive. Well, pinch yourself.
Well, pinch yourself. Damn it, Chewie, I was going to say that.
For the
The Brits are on fire today.
alive?
Yes, Squall, you're alive, even despite the fact that it looked like you were dead after this squad.
Yes, we're talking about you in present tense. You're alive.
don't worry, Squall. We're not talking about you in past tense. We're not.
We still have to get back. We may be alive right now, but look at our situation.
I don't know if you survive this. If you survive this, I'm pretty sure you can survive anything at this point.
As well.
You want to live right. You want to go back and see everyone, right?
I barely know anyone.
And not become other people's memories?
What?
You know,
Stop being pretentious, you fucking
Well,
Moron.
It's connected to what Squall was saying. He doesn't want to become a people's memory.
just
Fuck
like
you,
I
game.
said.
But that doesn't make any sense, Teo. Because all that monologue he did with the past tense thing, that was all in his mind. They never heard any of that.
But Pedro, like I said, I will never be a memory.
No.
Sure.
all
No.
coming together.
Sure.
What do you mean?
But that's exactly the thing. Again, that thing with the
Oh, there we go.
that thing with the past tense, Teo. Like, remember, it was an entire inner monologue in Squall's mind. It makes no sense for Rinoa to know it.
And now Square Enix really love to homage Ridley Scott with the propagator thing they're called. Basically xenomorphs.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, this is, we need to make this into a dungeon, so there you go.
If this game came out 20 years later, and if they had Disney's approval, they could have done actual xenomorphs.
Nah. And here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. This dungeon has a gimmick because the propagators are in different colors. And if you defeat...
No, wait, Teo, we're going to explain in a few minutes
actually,
anyway.
they're gonna do?
Yeah,
My bad.
there's a panel that you can read that explains how it works too. So,
Again, still, the point is
well, considering how obtuse the order is too, they better explain it.
I actually forgot that the game explains this, but again, they decided for this moment they actually put a gimmick.
Not just that, Teo, but allow me, because now it's my turn to say it. Not to mention, making this a dungeon harms the pacing. This is the moment where Squall just did a heroic noble sacrifice to save Rinoa. This is the moment where the writers should go for that momentum and go straight into the big love scene. And yet we're interrupting that for a dungeon, so it's deflating as all. It's gonna completely deflates the pacing of the story right now.
Again, we just had this moment where the characters are both really exhausted and everything from the situation, but now we're perfectly fine for some alien genocide.
Well, to be fair to you, considering what the aliens did beforehand...
Now, I'm not talking about motivation, Jova. I'm talking about physical performance.
It's no use. It won't
It's
open.
no use.
I guess we have no choice but to go down.
It's like
Look, I don't have a keyblade, okay? I have a gun blade. Do the thing.
Squall, what's a keyblade?
Oh, it's just something this kid I'm gonna knock out
Jova,
later.
we haven't invented the keyblade yet.
not just
Won't be
that,
for 3 years.
not just that, but
Well, honestly, dudes, given the time travel shenanigans in this
Alright,
game,
I forgot. If I recall correctly, it's now. Rinoa actually has now a second limit break. Exclusively for her.
Yep.
This does get explained later, though, thankfully.
Yeah. Basically, being possessed by Ultimisia multiple times gave her actual magical powers and shit.
that's also gonna bite her in the ass, but we'll get to it. Yeah, you know, Teo, fan theory. Speaking of that, fan theory, according to Jiminy's journal, he changed his name to Leon because he's ashamed he wasn't able to save his homeworld. But I'm starting to think there's another reason. The reason he renamed himself Leon is because he doesn't want to be associated with this crap. Basically, he's trying to reinvent himself.
Remember, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, he receives a letter clearly from Rinoa, but by the time of Kingdom Hearts 3, it seems they has forgot about that, so why not?
Squall is trying his hardest to get away from Rinoa as hard as he can, to the point where he went to a completely different franchise. There you go. That's my headcanon, and I will stick to it, goddammit.
I mean, you and a lot of people's other canons, sure, yeah, the whole...
Here we go, hold on. Now we're gonna explain it. A report on the monsters breeding on this ship. I'll be the computer, I guess. Sure. We eliminated all the monsters on this ship, but we leave this report in case they breed again, because we're just that considerate. The monsters are 3 to 6 meters tall, useless information, extremely hostile. They are ferocious carnivores and have attacked and devoured numerous crew members.
Yeah.
Very unprofessional.
And yet somehow this ship is completely unharmed. There are 8 independent monsters, but there are also one entity for some reason. The monsters can be killed through regular combat, but it must be done systematically for whatever reason. For example, if you kill one monster in a certain place and kill another one in a different place, the first monster you killed may be revived by another monster. The 8 monsters work together to maintain their colony.
Interesting.
They seem immortal, but they are not. Killing them in a certain order prevents them from reviving one another.
It's actually easier than it sounds, believe it.
I disagree. Here is a more clear example. Let's name the 8 monsters with the letters A to H.
I never really had that much trouble with this one.
Hold on.
Let's say Monster B can revive Monster A, and Monster D can revive Monster C, and so on. If you kill Monster B right after you kill Monster A will never be able to revive. Get it? If Monster A is the one that revives B, obviously if you kill A first, B will not be able to be revived. We have confirmed that the monsters that are paired up have similar features, aka they're color-coded. They're color-coded.
Kill the one of the same color of the one you killed before.
Here's there's a problem with it though, but I'll wait till this is over. Go ahead, Shirei, please, if you don't mind.
So basically we have to kill them in pairs that have the same color, right?
Yes.
Very good, Rinoa. You paid attention.
I have a medal.
She's improving.
Now, if you would, now if only she,
someone please spell it.
now if only she paid attention when I asked her to stop stalking me. Now that would be nice. But
to be fair, I guess from this point on, she kind of stops with the whole stalking thing.
Well, at this point, Squall welcomes it, so yeah, I guess. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay, yeah, it's exactly how the computer says. That being said, my issue is that a lot of times when you're trying your best to get around the monsters here, because remember, these monsters will immediately go after you the moment you see them. Meaning, if you get yourself into a battle, it can become really troublesome. Trust me, these boosters that I'm using right now are fucking essential. This is why I will not dare tell you to play the original version, because playing this through this can be painful, because you're constantly trying to run away from the monsters that you don't want to fight, and if you get into a battle with a monster that you don't want to fight, you have to try your best to run so you don't kill him, because if you kill that monster you screw up the process, so you have to start the process all over again, and it's fucking annoying. It's okay. And like I said, it's unnecessary. Just get straight to the love scene. We don't need a dungeon right now. Like,
I mean, okay, I do get the point of, you know, this happening right now plot-wise, because they need to get the ship running. It's like, I mean, having the love scene at this point where, you know, as far as they know, the ship is just going to doom them eventually, would probably be something we'd complain about, because that would be arguably just as much, if not even more stupid. So I think it does make sense that they do try to get stuff down on lock first before getting to the lovey-dovey stuff.
Also remember, Pedro, the level of the monsters is tied to your one. So again, if you did the thing about trying not leveling up too much but junctioning the right stuff and the right stats, you can still, you know, breeze through them. Oh
no, I can breeze through them anyway, Teo, thanks to the limit breaks, as you can see. So I
don't mean that, but in terms of actual, you know, stat grow and all. Also, apparently, thing that I didn't, you know, apparently it says, you know, on the wiki that if you brute force your way through, around after 25 kills, you will still manage to kill all the propagators anyway.
So basically,
you really have to go through with it.
So basically, the game eventually gives, okay, fine, you can move on. Basically,
I guess it makes sense in story. Again, you just kill them so much that they cannot revive each other.
How many times do I have to kill you before you stay dead? Apparently 25. Apparently 25 times.
But it's now a good time for me to talk about the story, or is...
No, go ahead.
Okay, so like I've said before, I don't particularly hate this game, and let me go into one of the reasons why. So we've talked about how the story definitely is conveyed terribly, and how it can come off as pretty messed up. But allow me per se to talk about what the story is actually trying to go... Why'd you go back there?
I was just checking something. Go ahead, continue. Quickly, because it's almost up.
Allow me to go into what the story is actually trying to convey. Squall was definitely an introvert, so of course he never really portrayed himself that well. Then Rinoa comes along, someone who actually challenges him to explore his feelings and whatnot. He doesn't explain or show them well, because again, being an introvert here and there. So when the woman that he has had feelings for is finally in trouble, that is when he finally is forced to show something of it, but like many things, he is not very good at it. It sort of ties into how he doesn't want to be someone who's referred to in the past tense. It shows his fear of dying and not being remembered well because, well, as an introvert, he never really did socialize well with people here and there. And thus leads us to the love story here. Essentially, Squall finally finding someone he can be truly open with here and there. Which, with how I described it, probably sounds like a very good story. That is why I'm going to say this. Squall and the love story are both the best and the worst things about this game. They're the best things because they're obviously the things that were put in with the most thought of for this game, but they're arguably the worst things because if you aren't convinced by them due to how badly it's conveyed here and there, well, that's probably going to ruin the journey for you, ain't it?
Yep.
Exactly, and one of the big reasons why I'm not convinced, Joe, is because, like I said, Squall's transition from not giving a crap or not giving a shit, as Shirei put it, to being, oh my god, I need to save Rinoa, Rinoa is my world, is way too abrupt.
This is tied to a fan theory that has actually never been debunked until this point, but I want to wait a couple of parts from now to actually explain to it. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
That's why I say this. I don't hate this game because I do see the very good story idea here, and Squall is actually unique as a protagonist in that regard. The problem, like I've said before, and I'll say again, is how it's conveyed well. And that's probably why this game is so split here and there. There are those who can see, for all the pretentious narrative, the good story, and then there are those who are, well, rightfully annoyed by it because it's just not conveyed that well.
Again, play Whirlwinds with you. It doesn't have a love story, but it has the whole help an introvert come out of his shell thing, and it's done infinitely better than this game. That game wipes its ass with this game. That's the basic gist of it.
When did that game come out?
2008. It was Nomura and his Kingdom Hearts team's big passion project in terms of making a big original IP of their own, basically.
So it had 9 years to improve, I guess.
It's on the Switch. The Switch is the definitive version. You can play it, even if you don't like the new control screen.
PS4.
No, it's a Switch exclusive. Even if you don't like
sorry, I got confused though. Okay.
If you don't like the new controls, that's okay. You can just play in handheld mode, and will allow you to play exactly like it did on the DS. So it's fine.
So, what game were you talking about?
The Whirlwinds with You.
The first one.
Oh, right.
And how it completely wipes its ass with this game in terms of the whole helping an introvert come out of his shell thing. But anyway, back to this. The rest of the scene is entirely automated, so I'll take over for Shirei. Go ahead. Well, right, go ahead. Exactly. Yeah, thanks, Squall.
WJHIEH.
Okay, to recap what's all right.
Is that the message for the Star Wars Holiday Special?
Give me a moment, Jova. To recap what's happened. Basically, someone from, I guess, the base that this ship belongs to has contacted Squall, and now they're giving him instructions and entering passcodes to get them so they can have the Ragnarok bring them back to Earth and ship.
It's an old code, sir, but it checks out.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
It's fine.
Next, I'm sure you're okay, but there's something I need you to do.
Killer.
Die!
Turn off the gravity generator. It's not like it's not like that's potentially dangerous or anything.
I mean,
this should save some fuel. Okay, but like Teo said, lack of gravity hurts your bones. But whatever. Use the same touch panel to turn it off.
I mean, I guess if you have good space training, you can.
Squall has none.
Neither does Rinoa.
Rinoa is even less.
Done.
Well, I don't know. Her head's in the clouds. I'm sure she's had some training.
All right, and this is also where the love ballad "Lies on Me" is about to come up as well. Go ahead, Jova. Oh, sorry, that's me. You're good.
Godspeed, yeah.
Yeah, Godspeed. Yeah, Godspeed. Come on, Rinoa, sit down.
Hey, come on.
I like how he beckons to the seats.
There you go.
Woo!
And now it's time for the vocal theme.
Yep.
Eyes on Me. I forgot actually who performs it for the English
Fei
version.
Wong. It's the same woman that sings the Japanese version too.
It's fine, but you can definitely tell we were trying to ape up Celine Dion with Titanic. Everyone was trying to do that all these years.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, here you go.
And then they kiss.
So Squall, we'll be home soon?
Hopefully. Now go sit down.
Just a little longer.
I mean, she's technically sitting.
That's fine.
Actually...
Oh, go ahead.
Why are you holding on to me like this?
Why do you think? You don't like this? You don't like this, Squall?
Just not used to it. What, you want to bang in space?
How about when you were little? Didn't you feel safe and secure being held by your parents?
He's an orphan.
I don't
Rinoa, you should know this.
I hate you so much.
To be fair, she wasn't one of the orphans at the
But she was. She listened to the whole thing, Jova. Sorry, Jova. She knows.
Was she really listening? Was she really listening?
She was in the same basketball field.
Whatever.
Again, to you I ask. Do you really think she was... Okay, you know what? Yeah, joke aborted. Afraid of having that feeling taken away from me.
So you were afraid of losing us? Is that why you kept your distance?
I was always alone.
Squall.
I thought there was something you put in the game.
You missed out on all the good things in life. You've missed out on so much. Like banging. Definitely.
Well,
I like it like this.
I wonder, what would it be like if we did bang in space? Would it be...
Zero G.
I liked having my mom hold me. My dad too, back when we got along.
I'm not your mom, but you can call me daddy.
Triple A writing, everyone.
Yeah.
No, guys.
But now, Squall, you're the one who gives me the most comfort and happiness. Aw, Shiro, this is
fanfic chapter 1.
Shiro, you're supposed to be heartwarmed here. Be heartwarmed.
No.
I'm not your mom, but you can call me daddy.
Beep, beep, beep.
Hey, Cypher! Hey, Cypher, I'm gonna do what you never could. I'm gonna actually satisfy a woman in space!
Just a little longer.
She's still your age.
We're gonna make it home, right?
Oh yes, we're gonna make it home and I'm gonna rub it in Cypher's face. We can only hope.
When we get back, we won't be able to stay together, huh?
Wait, what?
Thank God.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, Shiroi...
No one can predict the future. There are no guarantees. Those were your original... Okay, can I just talk about how much this frustrates me? If this scene had better build-up, this probably would have been a very good scene. I think the best way to describe Final Fantasy VIII is like this. If there are good scenes, they're like good scenes
in a vacuum.
Their own, in the vacuum, essentially.
Yep.
But they don't have a good thing connecting them.
Exactly.
It's frustrating, really.
I thought he just threw her off there.
No. She just obeyed him. Basically, she put herself on the thing because again, it's one of those things where let's just say again, don't worry, Shiroi. Final Fantasy IX will do this kind of thing 1,000,000 times better. So you can look forward to that.
Oh, and Dwibs will get to act during
Hold on. Things are about to get a bit tricky, actually.
Seed from Bound Garden.
And the other? Rinoa? The sorceress? She's on the ship?
So it's true? Rinoa is a sorceress?
Remember, if you
Fire our rockets!
Remember, if you get possessed by a sorceress, you automatically also become a sorceress, however the hell that works.
And you know what that
is
means?
one heck of a magical STD.
I know, right?
If a sorceress so much as gets towards you, you become a sorceress.
Nobody would want to be around me anymore. Oh, fuck off.
You literally
basically Shiroi, why the reason why she was all about the whole we don't be together anymore, that's because Shiroi, now that she's a sorceress, she's poison as far as the world is concerned. So Squall is not gonna have to save her from the xenophobic assholes, basically.
Okay. Here's the problem here. Sorceresses have never been
scared, Squall. I'm scared.
Here's the problem with this scene. Sorceresses have never been implied to be all bad or all hated. It's just that we've only run into evil ones. But sorceresses are supposed to be more like the Jedi in the sense where, sure, there can be bad or good ones, but it's not like everybody hates all of them. It's just that the sorceresses that have been hated, well, had a good reason to be hated. So I don't get this whole, I'm a sorceress, you can't be with me.
If only the game explained better its lore building.
I know. Okay, that's the end of Final Fantasy VIII.
No, I wish, Dibs.
We still have to deal with Adele and Ultimecia.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Nobody does, Dibs, at this point.
With the ominous music.
Well, okay, fine. Let me rephrase that. No one in this group, aside from maybe Jova, does at this point.
I mean, like I said, I still acknowledge that this game has issues still.
Oh, sure. That's what I said. That's what I said. Maybe you still, but I think I speak for all the rest of us when we say that we don't give a shit at this point.
Okay, I'll mention this after the party's over.
I think that's you. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
I've come this far because I've fallen for you.
He said it! He said it, everybody!
Well, the same
Why
thing
did
she
all
said
this-
in Discord.
I know, right?
Very
Why?
peculiar choice of words.
That is an interesting thing, though. This ominous music over it is a weird one to play.
Really makes you think.
Am I just supposed to let you go?
Yes.
So
Am I
is he like
supposed to just let
possessed
you
now or
do-
something?
They sound like those emo song lyrics.
And this is the again, Dwebs. This feels like it was written by a 13-year-old lovesick edgelord. Like,
Also, yeah, very, very cheeky, tongue-in-cheek reference to Final Fantasy III of all things, because apparently the god who created the power to give to the sorceress is called Hein.
yes. Come with us. We have to seal you because you're a sorceress.
Well, they say
Sure.
seal her power, but that's sort of...
Arf, arf.
All right.
Never guessed, do they mean executor?
Oh no, Squall and Rinoa won't be able to be together anymore. How will I ever cope?
Can we go back to Zell?
It's okay, Pedro.
Dwebs, hold me.
Oh, don't worry, Pedro. They can't hurt you anymore.
Actually, fuck that, Zell. Can we go back to Cypher? I'm having more fun with it.
Yeah, what's that, Shiroi? At this
Oh, yeah,
point,
that's-
at this point in the game, there are plenty of people who literally went, "No, my OTP."
Yeah.
Get a better OTP.
Michael, what does Rinoa have to tell us?
Hydra.
Go ahead. now that would be an interesting twist. This is, you know what, Shiroi? Oh my god, too.
Is
I
that
got
what
it.
he's whispering?
I
in
got
your
it
ear?
too. I got it. This is secretly never.
Rinoa, you just told us this earlier.
Yeah, no, not Teo. Fuck the whole discs to a 3 and 4 hour dream thing. I got a better theory. This entire game takes place in Westview. This is all inside the reality that Wanda created in WandaVision. There you go. See?
Sure, why not? But
There you go.
then
This
the
game-
Public WandaVision will be over, so...
This game is actually doesn't actually exist. It's just a very weird thing inside the Marvel
Don't
universe.
you see?
There you
that
go.
explains all the plot holes, because the person who created was not
Hey, audience. Okay, mark this and then tell us how poorly it aged.
So basically, we're in the 90s anime era part of the show then.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Go ahead, Stuart, if you don't mind.
She's the only one who'd be able to exist in such a world. She and no other.
She's talking about Ultimisia, if I remember correctly.
Ultimisha.
Yeah.
Remember, her entire goal is to stop time so everyone loves her or some shit.
Blah blah blah. Whatever. Go ahead.
As long as I'm free, she'll continue to use me to accomplish her goal.
But not to worry, we have devised a simple solution. Bam, one shot to the head.
It's the kitchen gun! How did you got one?
wait, what's stopping her from possessing Adele though?
Because
Look
of
at
the,
that.
Catch it.
Okay. Can't Ultimisha possess Rinoa in this very moment? Remember, Ultimisha kinda exists out of time.
allow me to. Actually, Joe, but that's exactly it. Right now, Ultimisia is in the process of trying to use Adele for her purposes. Fortunately, so it's not. So that is an option right now. Yes, and she's. But however, Joe, it will only happen when it's convenient for the plot. Obviously, go ahead, Shuri.
We can't let that happen. Like, can't we let that happen though?
No.
We can't let that
Well, Shuri. Let me.
Go now.
Well, Shuri. Let me. Well, Shuri.
I'm Commander Shepard.
Well, Shuri, let me put the two options for you. We either sacrifice Rinoa to the xenophobic assholes, or the whole world gets fucked.
I mean, there's not much to lose, I guess.
So,
I mean, if the world gets fucked, I mean, all the xenophobic assholes die, so, whenever.
yeah, actually,
I'm ready.
Joe, Too, yeah, that's exactly That's exactly it. Once again, I have to bring up that thing that I said in Fair Fence Draft. Is this world really worth saving too?
If Ramza was in the place of Squall, he would have made sure that Rinoa was sealed and then killed the xenophobic assholes.
Mm-hmm. Again,
but she written character.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rinoa, don't go.
I'm still a virgin. God damn it. Shira, if you please.
Thanks, Squall, but I have to go.
No! No! Now that I thought I finally would pop my cherry! No! I was so close!
So what? So I got. We spent the past few hours trying to get Rinoa back, but now she's going away again.
Because
You have a nice, lovely relationship
But don't you?
with Cypher.
Allow me. I don't know how Kitasa sounds. I don't remember. Well, Kitasa sounds like a generic Japanese dude. You see, Mr. Dwebs, the idea here is that now that they've finally gotten together and officially became a couple, there's the tragedy that unfortunately now that they've both embraced the love for each other, they cannot be each other. It's so beautiful. Like in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet,
It's a waste of time.
You keep it. Oh, and look at that! He's letting you
That's the thing.
Remember that for later.
I never like this kind of shit. I never like this kind of shit in any work of fiction. You spend all that time trying to get something, and then it goes away from you like a minute later.
Oh, Dwibs, you would hate, and I do mean hate, the ending of How I Met Your Mother. Then.
Yep.
Let me guess. He meets the mom, but she dies or something.
Close enough. So.
Close enough. Yeah.
Close enough.
I thought the ending was obvious, but it was
Jova.
This is what Rinoa decided. There's nothing I can do about it.
Squall, don't fall into creepy behavior. Like yourself said, it's her decision. Accept it.
She's rubbing off on him.
On the prop side, you have a airship now, I guess.
Which has an awesome theme tune to go with it.
Yeah, I was wondering where I was going to come in.
It's again, it's one of those cases where again the game is entirely dependent on this moment working, like Jova said, and it completely falls flat on its face because it completely lacks build-up. It's not earned. Don't
get me wrong. If you did get what the story was going for, and if you enjoyed it, all the more power to you. I'm just deciphering why this game is arguably the most polarizing Final Fantasy game there is, because people are still to this day are very split about it.
Yeah, basically.
Also, just a quick, because there's an entire long section, so I'll read instead the TLDR version. According to the Ultimania guide, again another thing they had to fix, the legend says that sorceries originate from the god Hein, who is said to have created humanity and wields his magic. After people realized that Hein had tricked them by offering them a worthless part of his body that had no magic powers, they vowed to destroy him, but could never find his other half. Hein supposedly hid the powerful side of his body inside woman, which is why only woman had the gift of magic. What the fuck is this? Seriously.
So,
it's a poor explanation he's giving the Ultimania guide. Jesus.
Brilliant.
Why does that sound like the beginning of a porno?
It's not just that, and again, like I said, it's kind of hard to be invested in a romance that's so toxic to one of the two, because Rinoa is a terrible, emotionally abusive person and a stalker, for the record. Remember, she watches it in his sleep. This is Final Fantasy Twilight Edition.
And even by the argument that it only comes out that way because of the writing, well. Yeah, that's a case of the writing conveying it terribly. Okay, I have to ask, does anyone know if the Japanese version didn't have these implications with how it was written, and we could blame a lot of this on a bad localization?
Honestly, I don't know that, but what I can guess is that even if they were present, they would probably be much more accepting on that kind of behavior because we view it in a much more comedic way.
Yeah. Well,
to be honest though, Pedro, after a recent viewing or something, I'll take Rinoa over what I saw recently.
Well, what did you see recently?
In terms of in terms of poorly made love stories.
What did you see?
Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, that. Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
well, yeah.
Okay, congratulations, Kitaze. You didn't have Rinoa rape Squall. Very good. Here's a medal for you. Like, but you're better than Wonder Woman 1984. Good job.
Something that wouldn't be made for another
But anyway,
21 years.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.